Hi, everyone. Welcome to the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you are here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to take note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to submit those through the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are there, ready and available to answer any questions you have. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. Also, this recording will be available a week from today. All sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/New Jersey. We are currently in session C13, where my mouse is circling right now. And this will also be the order in which all our presenters will be sharing tonight. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first presenter from the University of Massachusetts, Lowell.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daisy Ognedo, Assistant Director of the University of Massachusetts, Lowell. Thank you again so much for joining us today. I'm just going to share my screen real quick. So for those of you that don't know, Lowell is located 45 minutes north of Boston in Massachusetts. We're right on the border of New Hampshire. Very historic city. We were one of the first cities for the Industrial Revolution. So that's something we definitely pride ourselves in. You'll see a lot of old mill buildings and things like that. We're a very culturally diverse city with eclectic shopping, restaurants, a lively art scene. And we are also 25 miles from Boston, close to the ocean, as well as beaches and mountains. So a really unique area of Massachusetts to be in. We're one of the fastest growing public doctoral institutions. We're really proud of. Our average GPA is a 3.65 with an SAT average of a 1240 and a composite ACT average of a 26. So we have a lot to offer for students. We are competitive, but again, these are averages, so that means above and below. So don't worry about having that perfect 3.6 1240 SAT. We've got just about 11,000 undergraduates with over 120 plus programs of study that range from engineering, sciences, music, arts, theater, dance, etc. 40 plus master's degree programs, as well as 30 plus doctoral degree programs. So lots of opportunities for students to go further into their education. We also have a great 4+1 bachelor's to master's degree for students who are interested in continuing on their education in that way. We've got a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio with 50% of our classes having fewer than 20 students. So we do pride ourselves in small class sizes. We don't want students to feel as if they're just another number or name on a roster. We've got 6 colleges, which include the College of Education, the College of Business, the College of Sciences, the College of Engineering, the College of Health Sciences, and the College of Fine Arts, Humanities, and Social Studies. So again, lots of different things for students to look into. We also have the Honors College, which is an umbrella college that encompasses all majors. Students can be invited to join the Honors College when they apply. Again, I mentioned the accelerated bachelor's to master's program. We do have other accelerated programs, such as our 3.5-year nursing program, where students can be a little bit more competitive in the job market. We're very big on hands-on learning. We do have co-op opportunities for students. So if you're interested in co-op, that means you can go off for a semester and learn directly from a company within your field and get paid. We also have internships opportunities as well as clinical and practicum experiences for students in education or health sciences. We offer 300 plus study abroad programs where students can go pretty much anywhere for as long as a year, a semester, a couple of days, or a couple of weeks, depending on what best fits into their schedule. Lots of industry partnerships. As you can see in the pictures there, we've worked closely with iRobot, New Balance, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Apple. If you can think of it, we've probably worked closely with them. Service learning opportunities, about 275,000 hours of volunteer service a year, so lots of opportunities for students who are interested in giving back. And then our Difference Makers program is similar to the TV show Shark Tank, in which you come up with an idea or a concept and pitch it to the university, and you can win $50,000 to get your idea off the ground. We really do believe in innovation and entrepreneurship on our campus. Finally, deadlines. We've got a couple of deadlines coming up for next year. There's November 5th, which is our early action deadline 1. If you're interested in nursing, that is the best time to apply. That is the deadline for nursing. We've also got our January 5th early action 2 deadline. If you're interested in scholarship, applying during the early action deadlines is best. We are early action, not early decision, so don't feel as if you're required to go to our school if you get in during EA. And then February 5th, regular decision deadline. Finally, we've got the March 1st FAFSA deadline. So if you're interested in financial aid, that's when you need to have those forms submitted. And then we are a member of the Common App as well as the Coalition app. We also have our own application as well to make it easier for students, but Common App and Coalition app are extremely popular. And we are test optional, and we were the first public school in New England to go test optional back in 2015. Students are still eligible for scholarships. There's still a lot of wonderful benefits for being test optional. So don't worry that you're going to be, hampered for doing so. And you can also visit us virtually by going to uml.edu/tours to find out more about our campus. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Our next school is from University of New Haven.
Just going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Cuomo, and I'm the Assistant Director for Admissions and Enrollment Communications at the University of New Haven. So location. We are actually located in West Haven, Connecticut. We got the University of New Haven name because we were in New Haven until around the 60s, and we moved to West Haven so that we could expand because there's not much room to expand in the city of New Haven. We are about 140 miles from Boston and 78 miles from New York City, both of which are about a 2-hour train ride. So it makes it easy to go for the weekend if you would like. We have just under 5,000 undergraduate students, and it's just over 7,200 with our graduate students. So we're not too big, not too small either. Our average class size is 22, so everyone will know your name. Your professors will know who you are. If anything happens, they will reach out to you just to make sure everything's okay, which is kind of nice because you get that personalized attention. We have over 100 majors and programs, and all of those are part of our 5 colleges. So we have the Colleges of Arts and Sciences, the School of Health Sciences, the College of Engineering, the Henry Seeley College for Criminal Justice and Forensic Sciences, and the Pompeia College of Business. A fun fact is that 97% of our graduates are enrolled in a graduate program or have a job 6 months after graduating. And this turns to 100% 1 year after graduation. And it's actually 100% for our School of Health Science students. We have over 200 clubs and organizations that our students can join. So there is no possibility of being bored at the University of New Haven. We have everything from Greek life to club sports. We have a radio program, and we also have a theater club. And there's actually a very interesting club. It's called the Jedi Knitting Club. So if you're interested in Star Wars and you like knitting, you can join that club and knit yourself some fun Star Wars gear. So study abroad. This is one of our most interesting aspects about the University of New Haven. We have a satellite campus in Prato, Italy. It's absolutely gorgeous, and all of the tuition, financial aids, and fees transfer right over. The only thing extra that you have to pay for is your plane ticket. And how the meal plan works, just like the meal plan here, you take your card and you swipe it, but you can use your meal plan at any of the restaurants in Prato, Italy. So we do have Division II athletics, and we also have club level sports as well as intramural recreation level sports. So there's a sport for everyone if you want it to be competitive, or if you don't have time for Division II or club level, intramurals is a great way to get involved and stay active. So on the left, you'll see our academic scholarships. Those are merit-based and apply as soon as you are accepted into the university. And the additional scholarships on the right are for any other programs such as honors, marching band. The College of Business has a specific scholarship. There's also a portfolio scholarship for those students that might have an art-focused major. So our on-campus and virtual visit opportunities, because of COVID, we do have a lot of virtual visit opportunities. We do one-on-one sessions on campus. So if you did want to visit the university, you would get a one-on-one session for a student and 2 guests. You would have 30 minutes with an admission counselor and then a tour of the campus afterwards. And those are all spaced out to allow cleaning time, social distancing. And then we also have drive-through campus tours if you wanted to view the campus from the comfort of your car. And then on the weekends, we do host walk the campus walk the campus tour events. So you can come with your family. We do rapid swabbing for COVID right then and there. It's a little bigger event, so we could have multiple families on campus in admissions at once because of the swabbing. And then you're able to go to information sessions and tour the campus. And then we also have nights with financial aid and admissions. We have accepted students events, and we also have new Charger Day programs. So if you visited newhaven.edu/visit, you would be able to schedule a one-on-one session with a current student or faculty member and kind of shadow and see what their classes are like, get to know a feel for the campus, and talk with current faculty about the program and what your classes might look like. And yeah, that's it. So thank you. If you have any questions, stick around towards then and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Very helpful information. Just a reminder, if you have any questions throughout the presentations, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our presenters are there and ready to answer any questions you have about the college application process. The next representative we have is from the University of Rhode Island.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Let me just share my screen real quick. All right, so my name is Raymond Kung, and I am one of the admission counselors here at the University of Rhode Island. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I know exactly what a lot of you are going through right now. I still remember the days of trying to figure out what the best college for me was and whether or not I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So definitely, you have a lot, to look forward to. And on that note, let me share with you a little bit about the University of Rhode Island. So who are Eastside University, with just over 14,500 undergrads. We're expecting a freshman class of about 3,300 students this year. We're located in Southern Rhode Island, typically about 3.5 to about a 4-hour drive from New Jersey. We're about 15 minutes from 4 gorgeous beaches, which does make us pretty unique. We are the state's flagship institution here in Rhode Island, but almost half of our students are actually not Rhode Islanders. 48% actually are out-of-staters, and many of our out-of-state students are actually from the Northeast. So you'll be familiar with a lot of the students that you meet, but we do have students from all across the country and around the world. Now, I didn't time this out with the University of New Haven, but fun fact, on a lighter note, did you know URI was voted one of the most beautiful coastal campuses in the US recently? Also, can you tell I'm really anxious for the warm weather to come? Academically, URI is large enough of a place for you to provide you a wide selection of opportunities, but we're also small enough where you'll find your own place in no time. Academically, we offer over 90 different majors and 80 minors, everything from art to foreign languages, chemistry, criminology, kinesiology, nutrition, nursing, pharmacy, business, engineering, environment and life science majors, almost anything you can ask for. Check out all the different majors that we have online, and hopefully you'll find something that will pique your interest. If you don't have anything in mind, or if you have a couple of different things in mind, you can come in undecided, and we'll go through the application process really quickly in a little bit. In addition to great academics, obviously, you're probably going to want to choose a college that gives you opportunities to grow beyond the classroom and beyond the textbooks and exams. URI offers a variety of those opportunities, everything from internships to experiential learning, studying abroad, working alongside faculty members in research, developing your own leadership skills that'll come in handy throughout the rest of your life. You can get involved in our honors program, which is both challenging and flexible for all majors to get involved with. Another dynamic feature about the University of Rhode Island is our housing situation. Typically, about 6,200 students live on campus across 24 residence halls. 95% of our first and second year students actually live on campus, and that actually does include our in-state students. We offer different styles of residence halls, as well as alternative living for housing just a few minutes away, BTB, by the beach. So as students get older and seek more privacy, There are certainly great options both on and off campus to consider. Now, our Rhode pride is the school spirit that can be felt both on and off campus. It ultimately starts at summer orientation, where students will learn all about their academic options, make their class schedule, meet new friends, and even get excited about taking that student ID picture that everyone seems to dread. Rhode Pride also resonates through 300 different clubs and organizations, Division I sporting events, Greek life, intramurals, and all the different on-campus entertainment and involvement opportunities. Our Rhode Pride is all about making lifelong memories during and even after you graduate. We truly believe that URI is what you make of it, and there's no one way to go about it. Okay, so our application process, it's very simple and straightforward. Students are not required to submit standardized test scores, as we are test optional. We will review all students and all applications in a holistic manner, considering your grades, how you've challenged yourself, including in your senior year, academic trends, letters of rec, your essay, extracurricular activities, and anything else that really makes you who you are. Resumes are helpful, but they're not required. Basically, we just want to know more about who you are besides your letter grades, your number of grades, and what classes you took. We also offer a wide array of merit-based scholarships and need-based financial aid. There's no separate application for our merit scholarships. The majority of our merit scholarships range from $1,000 to $15,000, and they're guaranteed for the length of your major. And through the generosity of alumni donors, we even have some more substantial merit scholarships available, ranging all the way up to full ride. You can check them all out on our scholarship website as well. With regard to need-based financial aid, that process is facilitated through the FAFSA process, the free application for federal student aid. Students can be offered both merit and need-based awards at URI. So you don't need to pick and choose. And finally, please be on the lookout for more ways to connect with us, both virtually and hopefully in person in the very near future. For in-person campus tour information, check back with us later this spring. In the meantime, we continue to offer 200 plus virtual exploration opportunities to prospective students of all stages of the college search. So whether you're just learning about us today or you're ready to narrow down your searches, we have events for you, so check us out. Thanks for listening, and I'll be around to answer any questions you have.
Very helpful information. Thank you. The next representative is from the University of Rochester.
Hi, folks. I'm just going to take a quick second and share my screen. And hopefully that's working okay for everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Erica Padilla. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I want to take a quick second just to say I hope everybody's doing well. I know there's a lot happening all around us, so I'm sending everybody lots of positive energy right now. To kind of get our bearings, the University of Rochester is located on the ancestral grounds, ancestral lands of the Seneca people. It's in the city of Rochester, so we're about, say, 6 hours from New York City and Boston, respectively, in Western New York. So an area known as the Finger Lakes region. This is kind of a better glimpse. This is actually our river campus, which I like to think of as like the heartbeat of the University of Rochester, in large part because it is the home to the College of Arts, Sciences, and Engineering. That's basically all of our undergraduate programs, as well as our graduate programs in engineering, business, education, and it hosts about 5,500 of our undergraduate students. We're primarily a residential community with over 90% of our students actually on campus at any given time. Directly across the street is actually our second campus, which is our medical center, as well as our School of Medicine. And in downtown Rochester, which is about roughly 10 minutes away from the river campus, is Eastman, which is our School of Music, a nationally and internationally renowned school of music. The amazing thing is that a lot of these graduate programs, as well as we offer partner programs with, for example, Eastman, our School of Music, or a partnership with our School of Medicine, wherein students could be admitted to Rochester and gain direct admission to our School of Medicine through our BS MD program. Fun fact about Rochester, it's actually one of the largest employers in New York State. We're actually the largest employer in our region. A lot of that actually has to do with our healthcare network, as well as a lot of the institutes and laboratories that are part of the University of Rochester. I actually have one on your screen right now. This is actually the Lab for Laser Energetics, which is home to the largest university-based Department of Energy program anywhere in the nation. On your screen is also the Omega laser, which is just a sight. It's one of the most powerful laser systems you can find at any academic institution. But usually when I'm at a college fair in person, which I hope to be with all of you very soon, students will ask me what are the most notable characteristics or things to know about Rochester. And there are three things that immediately pop into my mind. The first is that Rochester is a Tier 1 research institution. The second is that we aspire for students to pursue their curiosities and their passions through our open curriculum. And the third is that we are an international community. It's all tied together by what we at Rochester call the spirit of Menorah, the idea that we lift each other up to be ever better, to aspire to be ever better for mankind as well. And a big part of being ever better is what I spoke about with being an international community, learning from each other's realities. I'm excited that Rochester is such a diverse community. We represent lots of different identities. Students are coming from all states across the nation and US territories. We officially represent about 140 countries. Roughly about a quarter of our students are actually the first in their families to go to college. One of the things that I talked about a moment ago is the idea of having an open curriculum and exploring your passions and your curiosities. So at Rochester, we don't have core classes or general education requirements. In fact, we encourage students to really aspire to be the learners that they want to be. So if you're curious about business, if you've always been curious about anthropology, if you've wanted to take a class in dance, imagine being able to do that the moment you arrive on campus as a first semester student. There are no restrictions. The goal is to never feel like you have boundaries. And so inevitably, students find that they find all different interests and all different paths that they never really thought they'd ever pursue. So often an outcome of having an open curriculum is that a lot of our students will actually graduate with 2 majors. Almost half of our students at any given time will graduate with 2 majors from the University of Rochester. I talk about the open curriculum in person, and usually there's this really amazing look of enthusiasm followed by a look of panic because the idea of doing this all on your own, but in fact, you're not at all. Yes, we are a research institution, but we are one of the smallest research institutions anywhere in the country. 5,500 students is very intentional. We want students to have access to faculty and to advisors. And so our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. That's again, very purposeful to be able to have that network of folks that you can always rely on whenever you need any support. We are a research institution. Being a Tier 1 research institution is not restricted to research opportunities at the graduate level. In fact, almost 80% of our students at the undergraduate level will be involved in research. Students can apply to get their own research and innovation grants to pursue their own original work. We publish a journal for undergraduate research, so it's not unusual for you to graduate from the University of Rochester actually having a credit under your name. And if you're picturing lab coats and bleakers when I talk about research, it's totally cool, it's absolutely appropriate. But in fact, research is happening across disciplines. If you're a dancer, if you are in business, the opportunity to innovate and create is absolutely everywhere you look. We are committed to making the Rochester experience affordable. And so our financial aid philosophy is to meet full demonstrated financial need for all students that are admitted to the University of Rochester. We have a holistic review process as basically our overall application process. And you'll see on your screen are actually all of our application cycles. I also invite everybody to visit us for any one of our virtual events. Unfortunately, we're not open yet for in-person visits, but I'm gonna pause right there because I know we have a slight set of things to talk about, but I welcome your questions at the end. Thank you all.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Just as we come to 2 more schools, I do want to send another reminder to submit your questions through the Q&A. Our representatives are excited to answer any questions that you have. And feel free to also note which school that you are referencing your question about. Our next representative is from the University of Southern Maine.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Julia Gurney. I am the Associate Director of Admissions at the University of Southern Maine. We'll move into full screen mode here. And so welcome. So if you've dreamed about going to school in vacation land, just come up to Maine. It's not as cold as it seems. We only have 6 minutes, and so the three main things that I wanted to focus on, there's tons to talk about. There's tons for every university to discuss in this very small amount of time. But the three things that I did want to focus on are location, academic opportunity, and affordability. So at the University of Southern Maine, you can excel from day one. When it comes to location, you can't beat Southern Maine, you can't beat Portland, Maine. And these are just a handful of things that you can take advantage of while you're pursuing college at the University of Southern Maine. So one of the more unique things that we'll talk about is our multiple campus setup. But here you are, streets of downtown Portland, bustling waterfront, lobsters are being thrown in the air. And then you're just a few minutes away from the beach, a few minutes away from the mountains, and pretty much anything that you want to do, whether that be shopping, eating, adventuring, beaching, whatever you need, you can accomplish it in Southern Maine. One of the more unique facets of the University of Southern Maine is that we do have multiple campuses, so it does get a little confusing. You don't apply to a particular campus as a student. You typically will spend time on both Gorham, which is about 20 minutes outside of Portland, and then also our Portland campus. From New Jersey, we're about 5.5 to 6 hours, depending on where you are in New Jersey. We're about 2 hours north of Boston, and Portland is pretty much as urban as it gets when it comes to Maine. And so we have our Portland campus, much more modern, much more urban feeling. 20 minutes away, we have our Gorham campus, much more rural, kind of quintessential New England college campus. There are brick buildings, there are bell towers. It's kind of that traditional feel. On our Gorham campus, we have all of our residence halls. So all of our students currently live on our Gorham campus, about 20 minutes outside of Portland. It's also the location for all of our NCAA D3 athletics facilities, as well as a handful of our academic programs. On our Portland campus, you'll find academic programs like nursing, business, social sciences, things of that nature. And the University of Maine Law School also is housed on our Portland campus as well. Typically, students are not going to be up in Lewiston, which is about 45 minutes north of Portland, unless you have a regional need there. Typically, students who live in that area are taking classes in Lewiston. So when it comes to academic strength, you need much more than just a degree in what you do in the classroom on a day-to-day basis to get a job in this market. And so that's why it's a very unique opportunity to be able to go to a school that has over 400 host sites for internships and clinical experiences and nearly 200 business partners just in the local area. It is a fantastic place to not only live and work, but also to go to school. So internships are a key part of the academic experience. It's so valuable what you learn in the classroom, but even more valuable what you want to learn outside of the classroom as well. So all of our academic programs, we have over 54, over 80 minors. And what I also like to emphasize is our accelerated graduate programs, saving time and money, which does allow you to move forward with a graduate degree or even a law degree through the University of Maine Law School. So I always like to talk about affordability. I believe it should be on everyone's mind when we look at colleges. And we don't like to do any smoke and mirrors when it comes to affordability or what things are going to cost. For out-of-state students coming from New Jersey, your one full year of tuition fees, room and board is going to be $34,000 a year. And we do offer generous merit-based scholarships up to $12,000 a year, in addition to any sort of donor scholarships, need-based financial aid, grants, tuition waivers, GI or military benefits to add on to that as well. It's so important. If you're looking to get involved, again, we do have NCAA D3 athletics programs, clubs and organizations, intramurals, things of that nature. And coming down the pipeline, which we are very excited to announce that we will be breaking ground on 2 major projects on our Portland campus. So coming in the spring of 2023, we will be opening our Career and Student Center, which will have a brand new dining facility and a career hub and event center dedicated towards, those internships and those clinical sites. In addition to one of the 5 largest passive housing residence halls in the nation, which will add 585 beds to our residential profile, and then also allow students to live in the heart of the city of Portland and take advantage of everything, and also have really affordable housing as well in the city of Portland. So ask a lot of questions in the search process, do your research. We are open for campus tours, but we also do have that virtual option as well. So thank you very much and have a great evening. Feel free to ask lots of questions.
Thank you. I'm really excited to announce the very last presenter, but certainly not least, from the University of Tampa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacy Fonseca. I hope everyone can see my screen. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the University of Tampa can offer and welcome you to learn a little bit more about what we are currently calling Tampa Bay. So we are located on the west coast of Florida, about halfway down the state. And as you can see here in this picture, we are just adjacent to downtown, separated from downtown by nothing but the Hillsborough River. And currently, Niche is calling it the most attractive campus or best college campus in the state of Florida. And I think a lot of people in the state of New Jersey originally come and find the University of Tampa because of the beautiful Gulf Coast beaches, which are located about a half hour from our campus. Or nowadays, they're hearing about our campus because of the great athletics and sports teams, or possibly even Tom Brady. But you know, these great athletic teams mean so much more than just that we're in a winning city. These are internship opportunities for our students, whether it's working with the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, or maybe even one of the spring training camps, or, you know, working with the city of Tampa on special events that are going on in the city, or one of the circuit courts, or one of the circuit court judges, or maybe even the mayor's office, because the mayor is a graduate of the University of Tampa, or one of the downtown businesses. So there are just a ton of opportunities because of our proximity to downtown and the many internships that we have. As a matter of fact, we have more internships than we have students to fill them. So while there are great fun things to do in downtown Tampa, these are really opportunities for our students. And this picture here just kind of shows you our proximity to downtown, and just that we're 1 block away, and the great opportunities that are awaiting our students. And I think it's why we draw students from all over the world. And the fact that we're not really scattered throughout the city. You still have this park-like atmosphere of a campus, but we're located in a city. So I mentioned that our students come from all over the world. We only have about 1/3 of our students from the state of Florida, 1/3 of our students from the Northeast. The other 1/3 is from all the 50 states and around 133 countries. And this year it's been a little bit smaller just because students have a difficult time getting a visa this year because of COVID-19. But we've been very fortunate to have face-to-face classes throughout the pandemic, and we're even offering campus visits. So we're happy to welcome you to our campus. And on most weeks, we're open 7 days a week. So feel free to go onto the website and schedule a campus visit. We're happy to welcome you to our campus. So to get a little bit more into the academics at UT, we have about 9,700 students on our campus, and about 8,700 of those students are in our undergraduate programs. And what that really breaks down to for you as a student is about 22 students in the average classroom. Now, to give you an idea, each semester we offer between 1,300 and 1,400 classes, but our largest classroom on campus seats around 58 students. So that's a pretty reasonable number for you to have. And last semester, there were less than 20 classes with more than 40 students. So this is a great atmosphere for learning and for professors really knowing what your career goals are. And if you have a learning difference, then being understanding of that. And we do have a department where they can offer all of the special services that you might need to be successful in your learning. Also, none of our classes are taught by graduate assistants or teaching assistants. All classes are taught by professors, and 90% of our professors have a PhD or the highest degree in their field. So it's a great environment for learning. Now, a lot of students will come to us and not know what they want to major in. So it's great that we have 200 different majors for you to choose in, and several programs that are 4+1. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to work with our career services department to have them help, look at your passions, look at your skill sets, and help you figure out what career path is going to be best for you. In terms of financial aid and cost, our total cost for next year is expected to be right around $43,000. 97% of our students are receiving some sort of financial aid, and our scholarships go from $4,000 to $18,000 per year. And when you apply to the University of Tampa, we'll automatically review your application based on your unweighted GPA at the time of acceptance to see if you qualify for merit-based aid. We also offer departmental scholarships for students that are going into writing and English, performing arts, music, musical theater. So there are plenty of other areas, but our departmental scholarships you do need to apply for separately. And just to give you an idea, you can see our rowing team on the bottom of the page. We have Division II teams, NCAA. There are plenty of intramural clubs and organizations, fraternities, sororities, over 300 different clubs and organizations. So be sure to get involved. As an applicant, the only thing that you'll need to submit is either the Coalition, the Common App, or the University of Tampa application, an official high school transcript, an essay, and a recommendation letter. Test scores are not required at UT. And I recommend that you get your application in by November 15th, but you can find all of the application deadlines on our website. So be sure to stay connected. Feel free to contact me if you have any additional questions. And thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. We do have some extra time left, and so we would like to invite our presenters to turn on their videos, to unmute themselves, and we'll go ahead and pivot into our Q&A portion of the webinar. The first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and start in the order in which you all presented in.
So the advice I always give students is remember that your process is going to be completely different from everyone else's. Don't compare your process to, your friend or your cousin or whoever did what at the same time. You're a completely different person. Schools are going to look at you differently. Everything changes year to year and from school to school. So just focus on yourself, focus on your mental health and your happiness rather than worrying about what everyone else is doing.
I would say at the University of New Haven, we really want you to be yourself. So in your college application, don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be true to yourself because we really want to see the real you.
The advice I would give is probably just to ask all the questions, visit the campuses, and enjoy the process, really. More specifically, maybe create your own college email account. That would be great. That way everything can get filtered in there. You can start right now. That way you can get everything there. And then when you're done with it, you're done with it. It would help the colleges, but it would also help streamline everything because that's going to be the way colleges are going to communicate with you. So enjoy the process.
I'd say there's a lot of pressure to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at this point as you're going through the college process. And it's actually the total opposite. When you're going through the college process, as we've talked about, getting to know yourself, figuring out the things that you love and that you're excited about, navigate the college search process from that route instead of feeling like you have to commit to any one particular thing. And the other side to that is we're virtual. We offer a lot of virtual opportunities across the board at all different institutions. So I argue that some schools that maybe were not available to you before might be available to you now, as well as folks on those campuses that perhaps if you visited in person may not have been available. So take this as an opportunity to keep an open mind and explore all the options that are out there.
I would go off of what Ray said in terms of set up an email, but also answer it. And check it. It's so important. That's how we're communicating with you. And that's also how we might send out your admissions notification, your admissions decision. So check your email. And I also love it when I get to meet my students. It makes such a difference when I love to meet your whole family, but more importantly, I want to meet you and know you. And so We all have territories. Typically, anyone who's going to be in here, we're working with students specifically from New Jersey, but get to know your territory manager. Typically, it's very easy to find on our websites, but if it's not, just feel free to reach out. But they are going to be the ones who are working with you, who know your high schools, who know your high school counselors, and also, going to be reading your application. So get to know us because we can't wait to meet you.
I'm going to just give you some advice on the essay. The essay is an opportunity to really showcase everything positive about yourself. And this is a great opportunity to think of almost like an advertisement. And so while we're sure that you've probably gone through some struggles, tell us what makes you great. Tell us why you belong on our campus. Tell us all the great things that you can bring to our campus. That's what we're really interested in learning, why you're going to excel on this particular campus and what makes you great.
All great advice. So thank you. I know that it's really appreciated. I think we have time for one more question, so we'll dive right in. And that question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So for me, my favorite event is the Break the Record rally. At being a Division I school, our most popular sport is hockey. So what we do every year is we have one big hockey game in which we bring all of the students and as many people as possible wearing t-shirts and free stuff to see how many members of the audience that we can get at the rally every year.
My favorite tradition is we actually have this not tradition, but like if you step on the seal in the center of our campus, it means you won't graduate. So it's kind of funny to see students try and avoid the seal when they're getting to class. And then it's funny when parents and families come to visit on campus and they'll step on the seal and everyone around them will freak out. But yeah, so if you visit the University of New Haven, do not step on the seal in the middle of the quad. And then my favorite event that we host is definitely homecoming. It's just nice to see everybody come together, all of our alumni and their families come out. It's a really big event, so it's a lot of fun to see everybody.
So at the University of Rhode Island, we have this event called Ooze Ball, and it is exactly as muddy as it sounds. It is mud volleyball. 2 years ago, last year we couldn't have it because of COVID, but 2 years ago we had 256 six-person teams. That's over 1,500 muddy people that were playing volleyball all day, fundraising, just having a grand old time. We actually stopped doing campus tours on Ooze Ball Day just to not see the family reactions and turn away people for the wrong reasons. So that's one of my favorite traditions.
That's fantastic, Ray. That's awesome. At Rochester, we do have a network of underground tunnels. So if it's really, really hot outside or if it's really, really cold, you don't actually have to be exposed to the elements. You can go through the tunnel system. And one of our traditions is actually painting the tunnels, which means that whatever is on the walls of the tunnel is constantly changing and it's a reflection of what's happening on campus. It's a really cool way of kind of get the pulse of what's happening on campus. And a quick tip, if you're visiting Rochester, a Rochester tradition is actually the garbage plate. Everything that you can pile on one giant plate and not healthy at all, but an amazing thing to eat.
That's my kind of plate. My favorite tradition at USM is by far, it's called our Husky Day of Service. We are the Huskies at USM. And so one day a year, our entire campus closes down. Students, staff, faculty, we all participate in some sort of community service throughout the greater Portland area. And it's just really awesome to stand side by side with fellow staff members and students who are doing great work in the community. So that's one of my favorite, traditions on campus.
For anyone who's visited Tampa in February, Invasion of Tampa Bay, Gasparilla. It is the largest festival in Tampa Bay, and it will draw graduates back for 20, 30 some years. It is a fantastic tradition, whether you are a University of Tampa student or you just live in the Tampa Bay or you just happen to visit, you will come back year after year. So fantastic tradition.
Thank you all. I say it's always my favorite part to hear all the traditions and favorite events on campus. So thank you all to our presenters for sharing. Thank you all for the information, and thank you all for joining us. I hope that you took something away and learned a whole lot of information to take back. And so as we close, I do want to say that there will be a quick 4-question survey that will appear on your window screen. If you could please take a moment to fill that out for us. Your feedback will be greatly appreciated and be really helpful. And this recording will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/New Jersey. Again, thank you all and have a great night.